Welcome everyone. My name is Tsepo Ngwenyama, and I am the portfolio manager for Injini. Before we kick off, I'd like to ask Krista to do sort of like a formal introduction and a welcome to everyone on today's pitch event. Krista, you can go.
Hi, everyone. Thanks, Tsepo. I'm really glad to see so many people tuned in for this virtual Bootcamp's pitch event. My name is Krista Davidson. I'm the executive head of Injini, leading the team of 7 amazing team members who have all worked really hard to make this bootcamp run seamlessly. Tsepo, I'm not sure if you can just share your screen so we can have some slides to speak to. Great. So just so everyone knows what to expect today, like Tsepo said, I'll give a bit of an introduction to Injini for those of you who don't know that much about us. Of course, welcoming you to this particular event, giving you some insight into what this bootcamp was all about, and then we will eventually kick off with our 12 pitches. So we have 12 startups from all over the continent who are each going to be delivering a 4-minute pitch. We'll have some Q&A from our 3 fantastic judges who have graciously volunteered their time to give some feedback to these entrepreneurs. And right at the end, we will have a bit of an award ceremony and announce the winner based on all of today's work. So the presentations you'll hear today, as well as the work that has gone into Bootcamp up to this point. So all of our sort of deliverables and assessments, the scores of those outputs will be incorporated into our final rank. Tsepo, on to the next one, please. So for those of you who don't know Injini, or if this is the first time you're coming across us, Injini is really all about improving educational outcomes across sub-Saharan Africa. We really believe that the way to do this is by collaboration with other stakeholders, particularly supporting the private sector in the form of EdTech entrepreneurs and startups, allowing them to get access to resources and mentorship and coaching that they may otherwise have struggled to get access to. We have an acceleration program that has been designed for more mature companies that have already found a bit of product market fit in their respective African markets. These guys are all really working towards improving the quality, access, and/or relevance of education in their respective markets. And we believe that they have quite a big potential to scale and create major social impact across the continent, which is why we bring them onto our program and design a really personalized, bespoke offering for them that hopefully accelerates them to the next level and allows them to create an even bigger impact and reach more beneficiaries along the way. So this bootcamp today is part of our ecosystem development work. So Injini has always had a mandate for African EdTech ecosystem development. We've just more recently formalized that. So what this means to us is supporting the ideation stage and very early stage entrepreneurs who have the talent and the passion to improve education in their communities or across the continent, but aren't quite sure where to start or just need some help with getting the fundamentals right. So we run boot camps like this to attract some of those entrepreneurs to these opportunities, to give them a bit of a crash course in sort of the fundamentals of African EdTech. We take them through some workshops that I'll tell you about just now, and we allow them the opportunity to pitch to their peers in these sorts of formats to get some feedback and some experience, really presenting their ideas and their early businesses to live audiences. So that's just one part of ecosystem development. We also run other events, hybrid, online, in-person events, obviously less of the latter in these days, but look out for a few new events that will be coming up over the next few months to really bring together the EdTech community across the continent. And then in terms of the Injini think tank, this third sort of pillar as to what Injini does, this is also a brand new initiative by Injini. So the Injini think tank is really our EdTech research consulting and advocacy arm. We're really starting out on the research side here, building up our credibility as a research body and making sure that we have evidence that's for Africa, by Africa. We can help the entrepreneurs that we're supporting by pointing to this evidence and giving them this local insight into what's actually happening on the ground, what challenges should be addressed and prioritized, and why other solutions are or aren't working. We're also doing some commissioned research in this arm, and we have a long-term goal to be involved in sort of policy work, making sure that we're influencing the public sector to make the right evidence-based decisions when it comes to innovation in the education sector. So on to the next slide, please, Tsepo. So a quick look at our team. Tsepo is going to be running the show in just a second here. So Tsepo leads our programs and portfolio division along with Boutle and Melo, who are also on the call and have been really, really vital to making sure this bootcamp runs smoothly. On the other side of the organogram here, you'll see our research division. Kim Sensuchi, our head of research, is off on maternity leave, but we have the wonderful Fiuwe working as our qualitative research analyst, and Kelly will be joining us later this month as our senior research manager. So all really exciting, a lot of great growth we've seen in the team over the last few months. And next slide, please. And for those of you who don't know, Injini is supported by our parent company, CITI, the Cape Innovation and Technology Initiative. So Injini is actually a subsidiary of CITI, which is a nonprofit organization that is based in South Africa, has some Pan-African initiatives as well, but is really known to be the longest standing tech business incubator in across the continent. So we're really lucky and fortunate to have their support and guidance. Two of our board members are also board members of CITI, so we have great ties to the organization, the mother brand of Injini. Next slide, please. And finally, just a look at what Injini's footprint has been to date. So on the left, you'll see the sort of where all of our supported companies come from. This is a look at our Injini incubation alumni and our current acceleration partners. So as I mentioned, we recently started this acceleration partnership program. We have a few companies that have already gotten kicked off on that program and are being supported by Tsepo and their team. We have a presence across 10 African countries now, and we have previously incubated 29 EdTech startups through our past programs, most of which are still operational, which is quite an accomplishment in any sort of incubation community. And then finally, in initiatives like this bootcamp and other sort of similar programs, we've supported over 200 early stage EdTech startups in these sort of few week-long interventions. So really, really proud of that. And then here is a look at our incubation alumni, those 29 companies I mentioned. Some of them might be familiar to you, and you'll notice that one of our founders, our incubation alumni founders, is going to be on our judging panel today. So we'll introduce him in just a second. Finally, so all of our work at Injini is really underpinned by SDG 4, the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal 4, which is around quality education and ensuring inclusive and equitable quality education across the world. Obviously, our focus is very much on the African segment. A few more sort of targets that underlie our work. We really have a strong focus on pre-primary, primary, and secondary education. We believe that if we can make a contribution there and get those outcomes on track, then everything else will follow. So we're not spending too much of our energy on the sort of future of work side of EdTech, because we believe that the real problems to be solved are sitting in the earlier side of the education value chain. So we're focusing there first, and hopefully we'll see some results cascade out to the rest of the education value chain from there. Next slide, please. So this bootcamp and other virtual bootcamps that we've run like it really consists of three sort of pillars. we have all of the entrepreneurs who are selected for participation in our bootcamp. And by the way, we receive quite a few applications each time we release a call for applications, and are only able to select up to 12 companies to participate. So these guys were the lucky ones out of maybe around 50 in this particular batch who were chosen to get to this point. So when they're first selected, we allow them access to our course, Injini's in-house course called Fundamentals for African EdTech Entrepreneurs. This consists of around 12 hours of coursework in terms of the mandatory modules that we assign before the workshops even begin. We then take the entrepreneurs through 3 synchronous workshops that were this time around facilitated by Tsepo. The entrepreneurs have an opportunity to ask questions, to engage, to really hopefully learn a bit more about their peers during that time in those forums. And then over the course of the last few weeks, they've been asked to submit a number of assignments, including those that were incorporated into the original coursework, as well as additional deliverables that were assigned during the workshops. And through this entire process, we try to give as much feedback as possible, allow the entrepreneurs to practice their pitches, to send us any additional questions that they have, and really support them to get ready to pitch today. So on to the next one. I will let Tsepo introduce our judges and eventually introduce our entrepreneurs pitching today. But thank you all for coming, for tuning in, and for supporting our ecosystem. It's great to see such a great show of audience members. Thanks, everyone.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Krista. So I would like to actually offer the opportunity to the judges themselves to do sort of a brief introduction to themselves in terms of who they are. And I'd again like to extend our deepest gratitude to them for offering sort of their time, availing their time to help us grow the sort of EdTech ecosystem. We really appreciate the time and the feedback that you'll be giving to the founders today. So I'll start with Tembi. So if you could just put on your video and mic and then just do a brief introduction.
All right, thank you so much, Tsepo. My name is Tembi Makajana, and I am the founder of a nonprofit called Social Coding. And Social Coding is a digital skills company that focuses on providing digital skills in rural communities. We're very, very passionate about digital parity because we believe that we cannot move forward as a country if half of us are left behind. I'm very proud of the fact that we have over 6,000 beneficiaries that are under our wing, and we're working very, very hard towards digital parity in 2045. I'm grateful for this opportunity, and I can't wait to hear everyone's pitches. I'm very, very passionate about impact and inclusion, and I'm happy to see so many other companies are passionate as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Tembi, and welcome. And then up next, Alan. As Krista mentioned, Alan is also Injini's incubation alumni. So Alan, if you could just switch on your video and mic and go ahead.
And thanks, Tsepo. I think it's always good to be on the other side finally. I just want to wish the guys luck. I'm Alan. I'm the founder of Lightbulb Education. We're a locally based EdTech company. We focus on providing learning management systems and services. So we help organizations, institutions migrate into the digital sphere by providing the technology for which they can operate. We focus quite heavily on the innovations in terms of the ability to provide on-demand courses and programs, plus also the ability to also have interactive and communication tools incorporated within their systems and services. So yeah, I'm happy to hear more about the services and the opportunities that all these different organizations are doing, and I'm happy to give some feedback on this. I've been here before, so I should have a lot of responses in terms of this.
Sure, thank you so much. A lot of responses, a lot of good questions, and a lot of wisdom. Thank you, Alan. Lungelo, if you could also just come on and do a sort of a quick introduction as well.
Thanks, Tsepo. Thank you for having me here. So my name is Lungelo. I'm an investment associate at Goodwill, and Goodwill is an impact investor sort of focusing in sub-Saharan Africa, and we've recently just started venturing into the EdTech space. Very interesting space and a lot of opportunity. So super excited to sort of see some of the ideas that come out of this. And yeah, thanks again for having me.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ngwenyama. Cool. We'll get to the pitches, and just so that everyone understands the format. So we've got 12 companies that will be presenting today. Most of them, almost all of them, are pretty much early stage, very much ideation phase. So sort of to the judges, just sort of being conscious of that, but also just making sure that we're giving as sort of honest and critical feedback as possible so that they can grow from this experience, from this journey as well. And we'll have the first batch of 6 startups pitch, so one after the other, and then we'll give, after the last pitch, we'll give the judges an opportunity to ask some follow-up question or give direct feedback. Please feel free to ask more to the judges. You could sort of ask about 3 startups specific questions. If there are startups that don't have questions, I'd encourage you all to just at least ask one startup a question or feedback so that they can sort of improve on their pitch. They'll be scoring them in the background as well. So we'll be tallying up all the scores, and then at the end, we'll sort of announce the winner. Cool. So these are some of the startups that have participated, and they represent a couple of countries from across the continent. So it's Nigeria, we've got Namibia, South Africa, Ghana. So really excited, and I will stop talking, and we'll just start sharing, and let sort of the first startup for the day to pitch. So they'll come on, and then we'll just sort of give them an opportunity to just introduce themselves. I'll time in the background as well. So I'll keep my video on, my sound on, and then when the timer's up, they'll end the pitch and then move on to the next pitch. Cool. The first one is Pass My Grade. So if you guys could share your screen, and then also just unmute yourself and just keep going, and I'll just start that timer.
Hi, Tsepo. I am trying to share my screen.
Are you able to share?
No.
Should please try now.
Okay, just a moment. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, try again. We can't see it yet. It's not showing up.
Okay, just a moment.
Yeah,
can you see it?
It's coming up, yes. If you're ready, your time starts now.
All right, ready.
Go.
Afternoon, everyone. My name is Titus Idishange, and I'm the founder of Pass My Grade, the learning app. First, I would like to introduce you to Tamia. She's a high school student, and from the pandemic, she has been trying to catch up with her learning and can't recap some of the previous taught concepts. With the increased demand in education and tutoring classes during the pandemic, she also found that she cannot afford tutoring service after school. She's complaining about poor infrastructure that always limit teaching and learning to the resources found within the school grounds. She also would like to attend school in an event when she's absent or in a sick leave. That's why Pass My Grades comes in. We are an after-school learning platform that makes learning accessible, effective, and engaging through using technologies and increasing classroom performances by 2 times. Our platform will be available on or platform, mobile devices, and desktop. We offer 5 learning modules as our services, from video classes, interactive revision note, live classes from Namibian expert teachers, adaptive practice to measure understanding, and 24 hours doubt clearance modules. Our business model is a freemium model where our communication is done from business to the customers. After sign up, a student is given 30 days free trials to test our package before opting for this subscription. The free subscription comes with video classes and interactive revision notes, but with the paid packages comes with additional live classes, practice, and doubt clearance. We also sell offline tablets that comes preloaded with our content for use in areas where there is no internet communication. Our traction, we happen to validate our concept on 3 piloted schools in Windhoek, and our customers have described our service as one of the best e-learning platforms they have ever seen. From all the over 3,000 students tested, 74% are using our apps daily, and we have over 1,000 followers on our pages on Instagram. And our market, we target a market of grade 8 to 12 students. According to the statistics from the Ministry of Education, this is a market of 650,000. We are targeting students that are accessible to smartphones and have parents that are willing to contribute to their learning through tutoring classes. We are planning to go to the market by using our referral program, where students refer 20 other students to get a 20 discounts on their paid package. Also would like to go on road shows to pitch our concepts to parents and school. Also would like to work with brand ambassadors to present our brands. Competitive advantages. We are competing with tutoring institutions, NAMCOL, which is an institution that improves matrix grades, and open source platform, Notmasters. We are actually advanced because we understand our customers' needs. The technologies and the quality of our materials have made Pass My Grades to be a better compared to our competitors. Behind our team, we have a passionate team that are very passionate with education and have deep understanding in education, technologies, app development, graphic designing, and customers relations and operations. Our advisors, we have a team of serious entrepreneurs who have started or built startups that are multi-million dollars, from Vainongi Pondoka, who's a board of director of MTM Namibia, and Atul, who's also a founder of Extra Mark Learning app, which is doing the similar concept in India. We are asking for 500,000 to fund our pilot study so that we can reach 15,000 students by the end of the year. And also would like to ask for strategic mentorship to execute our concept and validate it to our audiences. Thank you for your understanding. If you would like to join us and provide this learning platform to the student in need, you are free to join me and contact me on the details below. Thank you.
Fantastic. Well done, Titus. That was just on time. Up next is Lerato from Lola Care.
Hi, Tsepo. Hello.
Sorry. Up next is sort of Lerato. I'll share her deck on my side. Sorry, stop sharing.
I have a connection problem, so it's fine if my video is not on, right?
Yeah, that's okay. As long as we can hear you.
Okay, let me just fix this.
All right. To share. Okay. So you can just tell me next and you can start.
Okay.
You can go, Lerato. You can go.
I can go now.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm ready.
Cool. Your slide is up. You can go.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Lerato Mahobe, and I am the founder and the chief executive officer of Lola Cares. So Lola Cares is a smart EdTech aftercare. We are based in South Africa in Northwest. Next slide, please. Okay, so imagine a school kid who is about 16 years old and moving from high school, that is from a public system, and going to the university, meeting a computer for the very first time. And it's very hard for them to concentrate, to grasp, to understand, or even to know how to maneuver the device. Now, Lola Care sees a gap in the market and says, let us start an e-learning or an aftercare that is smart and is a hub that gives um, kids in the early learning childhood an opportunity to learn computers, give them digital literacy, and give them the understanding of what a computer is. In that way, our value proposition will be to train for our soldiers in our rural communities, moving on to other communities broader South Africa than abroad, to introduce digital literacy in ECDs, and to demystify psychosocial obstacles in public education system, because you realize that if you are not performing well sometimes in your schoolwork, you find it hard to relate with other kids in the playground. So we realize that if we start to attend to this issue from this age, then it can be solved from the primary level of school up to high school, and then kids are ready to participate in the social economy and in the tertiary economy. Next. Our services is to have a mobile hub at the moment that partners with ECDs and provide digital literacy and computing skills, because we have not yet started accumulating funds to start building a center. So eventually, when we get the money, we start building an AI center that provides all these services, which are coding skills, computing skills, and kids can know how to maneuver and create things and be able to compete in the 4IR world. Next. So in our business model, we would partner with Department of Education, since they have a project of rolling out e-learning skills and e-learning resources to compete in the 2035 development goals. And the Department of Education Social Development, for funding, because they are in line and they are working together with the ECDs in rural communities. And the parents would be our consumers, because we would expect them to pay and in affiliation with our hub or with our organization to render the services to their children. Next. So our go-to market plan would be, we are partnered right now with one ECD, of which we are still drawing up a contract to find out how can they best sit the parents down and make them understand, because in rural communities, parents don't expect to pay extra money. And if you want to introduce things like computers, laptops, or tablets, they're going to be thinking that kids are going to be just playing games and all of that. So we are currently in the progress of a contract with the ECD that we have partnered with, for them to help us reach out to the parents of the kids that are in their facility, for us to start piloting our idea with them.
Please wrap up, you have a minute.
Next, please. Okay. So amongst others, our competitors are Pre-to-3, Edpuzzle, and Mathmagic, Ambani, Google Class. We have so many competitors, and we are just a startup. So we are using all the mentorship, the coaching, and the incubations that we can get to get our research phase and ideation to be able to have a solid foundation for us to grow and be great. In our team right now is only me, because we recently just started. Our current status is pre-MVP. We're doing research, we're drawing up contracts, and then we are currently incubated with a tech hub in Mafikeng, and then we are in the Injini Bootcamp, which is an accomplishment and an achievement for us. And then how we would use the funds that we would win, we would buy at least 4 tablets and start having a research or a pilot experiment with the ECD that we have partnered with. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Lerato. Up next, we got Kimvila. So if you could just go ahead and share your slide. Share your screen.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Just a brief introduction. My name is Olufola Idowu. I'm pitching on behalf of STEM Villa Nigeria Limited. Just a brief introduction at Villa. STEM Villa is in the business of transforming education system and making STEM tools, resources, and knowledge available, easy to access and affordable in Nigeria and in Africa as a whole. We want to empower all kids to create, make, and develop cutting-edge products that are marketable. We promote a skill acquisition spectrum which spans from being a complete novice to a point of true mastery. Please, can you see my screen? I'm trying to share.
I cannot see your screen.
No, we can't see your screen.
The screen is not shared.
Just the technical problem. Sorry, please.
I'm not seeing you.
Okay. You're sharing your
Okay,
screen.
okay, I'm sharing now.
Yep.
I'm sharing now. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. So thank you, Injini. Thank you, Injini, for this program. So in my next slide is what the problems are and the opportunity therein for us at STEM Villa Nigeria Limited. So we're looking at quality hands-on STEM education and STEM tools and resources are not easily accessible and affordable, especially for families and individuals from low-income families. From our statistics, we realize that 70% of children between the ages of 6 to 11 do not have access to quality STEM education. And to be precise, 10.5 million children are not in school in Nigeria, even before and during the coronavirus. And in the slide here is a girl, her name is Dorcas. She's a student of early junior secondary school. Her dream is to become a software engineer by the year 2032, working in one of the leading software development organizations in Africa. She has no access to quality STEM education and resources because she's disenfranchised. She's less privileged. She's from a low-income family. Her dream is bleak, but we at STEM Villa will bring it to light. Now, how do we do this at STEM Villa? And what do we hope to achieve? We hope to help improve the performance of students in their STEM-related subjects, empower people with 21st century skills, and to also achieve the UN sustainable goal with regards to education and quality living. And we're also looking at helping the kids to compete with the global demand and the future of work. And what is our solution? At Nigeria Limited, our solution is transforming education by making STEM tools and knowledge available, accessible and middle-class communities. We want to empower kids to be makers, builders, and developers of cutting-edge products that are marketable. And how do we do that? We do that through our major 4 cardinal points, which is 1, creative hands-on STEM in schools, IDE in African languages, and personalized and flexible learning for both physical and virtual classes. And also a personalized progress tracking mobile app. Now, for our IDE, we're trying to make sure that there is inclusion of kids in their local language to programming. So as such, that you can speak English and you can also speak Swahili, that you can speak English and you cannot speak Hausa or Yoruba, does not mean you cannot be able to code. And what this also does is to lessen the burden of using complex syntaxes. Now, if you can see my slide, for the language option, we have where we choose your language option to your localized language. So below is a translated language in Hausa, in Nigerian language. We decided to use Hausa because Hausa is one of the major languages for our prototype. So for our product also, we have a learning progress tracking, flexibility in booking of classes, easy purchase of kits and downloading of ID, and you can easily choose your educator and your mentor as well. So for our prototype, we have our mobile app where you can choose your session, you can book your sessions. We also have our our option of ordering STEM tools. Let me just run through. For our target market, we have a total available market of $3.5 billion and $5.7 billion for the serviceable available market and $15 million for the serviceable obtainable market. And
your time is up.
Sorry, please.
Your time's
sorry,
up.
Please.
Please stop sharing screen. Thank you so much. Up next, we have Chem Lab. If you can, Chem Lab, if you can just go ahead and share your screen.
Hello, can you hear me? Can you see me?
Yes, we can, Adnan.
Thank you. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity. My name is Othman and I'm here with Chemi Labs, the digital lab for all your chemistry experiments. Well, actually, chemistry experiments or chemistry in general is being laid back because students don't really understand what's going through. Okay, sorry. The problems are there are no lab apparatus and chemicals for students to actually carry out this experiment. There's also no safety caused by overpopulation. And there's also lack of understanding of the subject, which leads to poor grades. My backstory, allow me to share another screen. This is actually,
Adnan, are you sharing something? We can't see your screen. Mohammed?
So yeah, this is actually the type of my university actually that I went to, and this is how we carried out our chemistry experiments. You can see everywhere is crowded. There's only one chemistry apparatus there that we're all seeing, we're all trying to use, and that's the problem. So our value proposition is that we'll do three things. The first is hardware, would have TV-like tablets, which will contain pre-installed functions of chemicals, periodic tables, acid and bases, and artificial intelligence. Then the second thing would be lab installation. We design, construct, or a classroom and install, including solar panels. And the third thing would be teacher training, because we need to teach the teachers how to use the hardware. The benefits of this is to save cost, because no need to buy apparatus or chemicals anymore. The hardware would be a one-time thing and that's it. Safety, students won't be exposed to harmful substances. Accessibility, students can practice as much as they like without having to worry about waste of chemicals or wrong outcomes. And then better results, more qualified teachers equals better student performances. The traction. Well, currently we've undergone the fundamentals of an African EdTech entrepreneur, and then these things actually helped me. The myths and facts in education helped me come down from the clouds to understand what I really need to do, differentiating the facts from the myths. The BMC and empathy mapping helped me itemize my this thing and focus on the proper. On the important things. And then validated learning, after thorough research, I think I found what I was looking for. I almost reiterated, but then I still stuck to my own plan. This link right here is a research I found that actually backs up or talks about my idea like 100%. It backs me up 100%. So there are 4.9 million students in secondary schools, with 18,000 secondary schools in Nigeria, but 72% are public schools that need accessible education, which we're trying to do. The business model, we have our users and our buyers all together here. The secondary school and universities would be our users, while the government and NGOs would also be buyers. Key activities, if we happen to win the 5,000 rands, this is what we'll do: register the company, develop a call to action, source team members, then advertisement and promotion, while getting the mentorship on the other side. This is from an author, Madhua Boom, in 1992. He said, students need a rich store of concrete sensory experience aid understanding of their learning. It is a known fact that whenever appropriate apparatus is used for science practical lessons and demonstrations, students' learning is enhanced. Thank you.
Thank you, Mohammed. And then the last page for this segment is Carol from Sound Future Group. If you could just quickly share your screen and then go ahead and pitch.
Oh, this guy killed me. This guy killed me.
We can still hear you, Mohammed.
Sorry, I think it's before Carol goes ahead, could
Mohammed, what's the name of your company again? It is
Chemi Labs.
Chemi Labs.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Okay, great. Thank you, everybody. I'm just double checking that everyone can see my screen, that I don't also get killed. Can you just confirm for me?
Yes, we can see your screen, Carol.
Okay, great. So thank you very much. My name is Carol Harrington. I am one of the founding directors of the Sound Future Group. And our normal long-standing business is actually creating curriculum and digital content for people. So you all would normally be our customers. But for this boot camp, we are trying to venture into something different. And what we'd like to introduce you to today is our early idea called AfriDad's Lab. And what I would like to show you is, firstly, what is it? So basically, it's a digital social club where we want to repurpose a whole bunch of other technologies that already exist in a way that works for African fathers and their children. A digital social, sorry, someone else is trying to speak. The digital social club basically solves problems. It solves education problems as well as employment problems for the African father and their children. Why are we doing this? Because we know in South Africa, our economy and our youth unemployment rate is astronomical, and this is compounded by poor educational results, poor basic skills foundations, and an outdated curriculum and pedagogy. So there's a lot to fix with very little money, and there's a lot of tension, and therefore we need to find mechanisms that people can help themselves. With that in mind, we looked at who would our customers actually be, and we did some deep research into everyone from Malusi on the left, who's an unemployed youth, exactly the profile of who we have, to someone who's just a couple of steps up from him, being Kalani. He is actually employed, and someone who's actually a professional with a full-time degree and a job, and is in fact a fund manager for for one of the impact investors. And what we found is that their needs in terms of this is very similar, and everybody has got the same fears. So what we wanted to see is why would this be valuable to them? We needed to look for something that would be a social construct. It is basically edutainment and fun, but it also can't be something that wears off quickly. So therefore, we've brought the real world idea of a club to life, where we would find advice and support, as well as practical, playful learning activities that these children could apply with their own children, parenting advice and expertise, and then at the same time, they could repair basic educational gaps in their own learning. So things like communications, mathematics, and items that they struggle with that could either get them a job or keep a job for them. The economic and social impact downstream benefits are huge in terms of this proposal. But what we always struggle with is how will we make money from this? Because it's a very social construct. So this is a very complex revenue model, and I'm really not going to unpack it in its full glory, because we need to do a lot more work on it. But at the base of the pyramid, there's basically a free offering where we are hoping to make use of the data economy to fund at least the cost of that. Then we'll have a very standard minimal subscription rate, where the next level and tier up of employed people would pay a minimum rate to take part in certain things and have access to parts of it. And then we would have premium subscriptions. Above that would be a vendor professional service and products, which is a traditional commission-based format, and we top it off with yet another revenue stream in terms of hosting. Because if this can't sustain itself, then it's a loss leader for us. So what we wanted to know is, how will people know that we exist, and how will we make sure that we stay with them? Sorry, and we've got some challenges around this, as we do around some of the other things. So I'm not going to go into details given my time is up, but we know we need strengthening in terms of mapping our key activity time and motion costs. We need mentorship and recruitment and capacity building, and we need to manage our formal risk in terms of our key partnerships, because we're using other people's tech. So that is what we would use the money for if we got it. And we would spend most of it on due diligence for impact investment proposals, as well as scaling up our human resource capacity and business systems to take on this awesome type of project. I thank you.
Thank you so much, Carol. Please stop sharing your screen.
Thanks, I am. Thank you.
Fantastic. Jamu, you can just share your screen quickly and go.
All right. Okay. So, can everyone see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Am I good to go?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jamil Lawal, and I'm the founder of My Teacher. So, we are based in Lagos, Nigeria. So, let me quickly introduce you to Leila. So, she's from a lower middle class family, and she's currently studying accounting at the Lagos State University. She's aiming to graduate with first class, secure a scholarship to further education abroad, and work in one of the big 4 accounting firms. So her friends do tell her that she's overreaching with these goals. These goals are next to impossible, seen as the state of the country and our universities, but she believes nothing is impossible. She believes if she works hard enough, her efforts will be rewarded. However, there is a complication, and this leads us to our problem. A needs assessment report was submitted to the federal government of Nigeria, and it revealed that infrastructure decay and manpower shortage are 2 core reasons for poor learning in our universities. So our universities, Nigerian public universities, remain open to improvement. So in terms of the infrastructure decay, we have overcrowded lecture halls that make it hard for students to concentrate during lectures. In terms of manpower shortage, the assessment report also revealed an unmanageable lecturer to student ratio. For example, in the National Open University, the lecturer to student ratio is 1:363. In the Lagos State University, it is 1:144, while at the University of Abuja, it is 1:122. So due to this manpower shortage, students do not get the required attention from lecturers. So these factors combine to make learning inconvenient for students, which in turn reflects in their poor performances during exams. So now our solution to this, how we are trying to tackle this, is an e-learning platform called My Teacher, where students can access quality course-relevant content, learn at their own pace, interact with tutors and other students. Now, there are 4 segments to our product. First and foremost, we have our course-relevant video lessons. So our qualified tutors will take complex university-level topics, break them down into their simplest form so as to make them easier for students to understand. Then we have our evaluation tests that our tutors will create per topic, which we will use in evaluating the students' knowledge per topic. Then we have our exam past questions. In Nigerian public universities and universities as well in Nigeria, past questions are important resources students use in preparing for exams. So we are going to make that available from different schools and different courses on our platform. Then we have an interactive question and answer forum where students can easily connect with their tutors and other students. Now, our aim at My Teacher is to be the go-to platform for Nigerian university students looking to gain better understanding of their courses and earn higher grades in exams. Why now? We believe now is the best time to create this platform because the outbreak of COVID-19 has caused public universities in Nigeria to adopt online learning using products like Zoom and Google Classroom. This indicates that the number of students getting used to learning online is increasing exponentially. For our target markets, according to the National Universities Commission in Nigeria, there are about 2.1 million university students across 177 universities in Nigeria, and less than 6% of them are in private universities, leaving about 1.9 million students in public universities. So these are target markets, the 1.9 million students in public universities. Now, attraction, since we are still at the MVP stage, we have been focusing on validating our concepts, and so far, we've reached out to 925 students in 12 public universities, and 92% of them say they are willing to pay 950 naira per month to access our platform. Our business model is a simple subscription-based model where we charge our customers who are university students 950 naira per month for unrestricted access to our platform. Our competitor are mainly physical tutorial centers that are located in the vicinity of the university. They are open twice a week during the weekends, and they charge averagely 4,000 naira per month. So these are the reasons why customers will prefer us to our competitor. In terms of accessibility, our platform is accessible 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, while tutorial centers are only accessible during the weekends. Affordability, by charging 950 naira, we make our product 76% less expensive than our competitor. So this is our team. Our team, we have over 11 years experience in product management, web development, and marketing. We are asking for mentorship, this from the Injini team, because this bootcamp has been very enlightening, and we believe mentorship from Injini will help us achieve our goal. We are also requesting for 5,000 rands, which will help us create content for year 2 students, because at the moment, we are only capable of creating content for year 1 students. And our impact with our solution, we are aiming to help improve the quality of graduates coming out of Nigerian universities. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Please stop sharing your screen. If I could ask judges to just take turns to, if they like really specific and good questions that you guys have that I would like to pose to any other startups, you guys can sort of go ahead and take turns and just ask those questions. And I'd also like to just ask everyone, if you're not speaking, if you're not saying anything, to just keep your mic muted. That would be amazing. Cool. Thank you.
Can I go first? Thank you so much. Sorry, I've been writing my questions down. I just want to make sure. So my first question actually goes to two startups. The first one is Lola Care, and the second one is Steam Villa, right? So we can go in that order. My question to both of you is, how do you see a teacher, right, using your product in the classroom? I need you to help me understand how a teacher would use this, because a lot of the focus has been on the beneficiaries themselves, and being in this space, I understand how important it is to involve multiple stakeholders. So just give me an understanding of how a teacher, how do you train the teacher to understand your product, and how do they use it for their benefit? That is to Lola and Steam Villa. Thank you.
Thank you, Tembisa. And then you guys can just hold on before responding, and then I'll ask Alan or Lungelo if you have questions for different startups. You can just go ahead and ask those.
Okay, so mine had a couple just for one of them in particular. So pass my grade education. I just wanted to get clarity. Are you guys are you attempting to be a Extra Marks franchise within Namibia? That's the first component. Or would you be generating your own content with regards to that? Because I saw that it seemed as if like a lot of the things that you guys were looking at were offshoots of Extra Marks. So just to understand what the relationship is with them. And then with regards to ChemE Labs, would there be any sort of opportunities for like physical sets available, especially with regards to, you know, in some cases, when you are learning about chemistry, certain tangible aspects are required in terms of like maybe smell or things along those lines, just to get a better understanding of how do you plan on expressing that a little bit better. Yeah, those are two for me for now.
Thank you. Ngelo, do you have questions?
Yeah, also for Pass My Grade, you mentioned how you know, you you first understand your customers before you deliver this content to them. Maybe a little bit of color on how you go about doing that. And also my question is very similar to Alan, and it's around content creation. You know, when you create that content, how easy is that to scale across different jurisdictions, considering sort of localization and language and all those other stuff. And then for Lola Care, I didn't really sort of wrap my head fully around your product, which I thought was interesting. So correct me if I'm wrong, but why wouldn't you go directly to schools and sort of partner with the schools instead of creating these centers yourself? And yeah, I may be mistaken with how I interpreted the product.
Awesome, thank you. So we'll start with the first two guys that Timbiso asked questions for. If you guys could do a quick response to the questions that I asked. So that was Lola Cares and Kem Villa. So you guys can go. I'm Ms. Tem Villa.
Can you hear me?
Hi everyone, can you hear me?
Can we go with Lola first and then Steam Villa?
Okay, Lerato, please go.
Okay, thank you, Tembiso, for the question. We are still looking into that in terms of they might require some training, because we have realized that the teachers that are in these centers, these kindergartens or creches, as we call them, they are not themselves digitally literate or digitally aware or digitally improved, if we can put it in that way. So we would have to look for means of how we can train them on how to use these apps or platforms that we might have in our devices for them to be able to assist and teach the kids. And for Lungelo, our first phase of starting the center is that we are going to we have partnered with the creches, the early learning centers. So we are going to deliver the services to them. So eventually is to have, later in years, is to have a center established under our names where we can run many other programs or deliver other skills like coding and all these standard or leveled and advanced skills that are in line with for IR or with computing. Thank you.
Tsepo, can I just quickly ask, are we allowed to ask follow-up questions, or do you prefer that everyone runs through?
So I think because of time, I think I prefer, unless it will help sort of them answer it better in terms of the initial question, you can do that. But for the sake of time, I think it'd be good that we just let them answer everyone, and then if there's still follow-up questions, we can try at the end when you have time.
Perfect, thank you.
Yeah, and also you can use your scorecard to add additional comments or questions. We will share that with the startups as well.
Thanks.
So, STEM Villa.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is. Okay, so thank you so much for the question. So we'll be working with affluent educators in the schools we are working with. So we'll be forming STEM clubs in the schools, and then we'll be working with affluent educators that are trained by us. But they are also going to be working hand in hand with STEM teachers and science, technology, math teachers in schools, and also put them through with what they are teaching them, the students in those schools, so that the teachers themselves will be acquainted with our programs, our contents, and so on and so forth. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Uchechi, just a follow-up question that's important to me, right? It's great that you're working with the educators, but help me understand, how do you get them incentivized to work with you? Because we know that educators in general are underpaid, right? And this is just adding more work to them. So what are the incentives that you have to have them partner with you?
Okay, so basically we are partnering with the school and coming with our educators. So we are the ones paying our educators. Okay, so we are working with affluent educators, graduates in different that are trained in different courses like engineering, math, and so on. So the schools are partnering with us to come with our educators to train their teachers, their students. But their teachers are permitted to be around while the training is going on, so that their teachers can also know what we are teaching and what and they can also learn from us. Okay, so most of the schools partner with us. We bring our educators and then train their students. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Cool. And then I think the other one was past my grade. Alan had a question for you. So Titus.
All right. I don't think I could remember the questions, but I think the first one was about how are we developing the content? As from me, I'm actually a teacher and I'm a head of department at one secondary school here in Namibia. So we actually hire professional teachers or freelance them to develop content based on our national curriculum for senior secondary education. Our contents then the scripts then will be written and verified by experienced professionals before developing it into all other learning modules like video lessons, interactive leadership notes, and that. So we are actually at first initially targeting the Namibian education sector, but in a long run, we wish to extend our service to SADC countries or in the whole Africa by actually changing our concepts or our curriculum based to those national curriculums, and also our accents. Like my brother in Nigeria, of course, we have to use the accent of Nigeria if we have to target the Nigerian market. The second question was, I think it was how did we reach our piloting? We actually developed a demo app, and it was only loaded with 4 subjects. That's mathematics, physics, chemistry, and biology for piloting. And we actually loaded all those contents to our learning app and our platform. We went to schools, asked students to come with their mobile devices and install it, and collect feedbacks or about the interface and the usabilities before opting to develop or fully scale the whole platform to other schools. So we also have letters of intent from other schools. We actually have about 13 more schools that are on the waiting list, just to validate our concepts through this whole pilot study until the end of the year. I hope I have answered all the questions, and if there are follow-ups, I'm ready.
I just want to clarify. So this is your own technology. It is not related to extra marks in any way, shape, or form. So you're not franchising them. I'm trying to understand the relationship, because as far as I understand, extra marks and their model is they basically deploy within different regions, and they provide STEM education, but a lot of the issues around their deployments are things such as like language barriers, the ability to streamline with the curriculums and so on. So I'm just trying to get a sense of what is the relationship there. Is it your own proprietary technology that you're utilizing, or are you franchising? Because that'll help us to sort of get a better understanding of what it is that you're trying to achieve within Namibia and the continent as a large.
This one is my own technologies. I actually developed this technology throughout my classroom experiences, but to get a better understanding, I happen to the concept is similar to that of extra marks. We got advisors from there, but with extra marks, that's what I've said. Extra marks is just advising us because they have experience in similar concept. But with extra marks, as you have said, they are targeting a broad market, and that's what I mentioned, that before us we target the African market, we need to work on a curriculum that is based on our target countries and our accent. So it means our video classes and our tutors should also have the same accent of that country. So that's why extra marks cannot deliver on other countries apart from India because of their accent, because of their curriculum, which is not aligned to that specific countries of target. But as we will start with Namibia, I will align all our learning contents to the curriculum and the syllabus of all the grade 8 to 12. We'll also implement good accents that make easy understanding to our students before opting to expand our services to certain countries or Africa at large. but that will be now maybe after in a 3 to 5 years of operations.
I've got some other comments, but I'll leave for the next one.
Okay, cool. I think Mohammed also had a question.
Yeah. Okay, thank you for the question. Yes, we'd actually have feedback sensors that would go together with the tablets so that they can feel temperature change and effervescence or whatever. I don't know how we do with smell for now, but temperature change and like fizzing and all that would have feel the difference and all that. Thank you. That's all.
Thank you, Mohammed.
Sorry, I'm so sorry, Tsepo. Please don't kill me.
No, go ahead.
Mohammed, I have a question for you. I had written it down. My question for you is your product, right? Does it give information back to the student information system, right? Is it exportable, and how does it integrate into the university's different system as well?
Okay, yes, actually, because like for major examinations like WAEC, we hope to move away from the traditional method of carrying out experiments, and then so they would use this as the way of doing their experiments, and then obviously there's a teacher platform that teachers would see what the students have done on this thing. For universities, I think it will be the same thing also. Thank you.
Thank you, Mohammed. I think Rangelo had a question for Sun Future Labs or Carol. I'm not sure if anyone had a question for her. If not, we can sort of jump on to the next set of pictures.
Question for Carol. Thank you very much. Where's my question for Carol? Carol, how do you see your content aligning with the current South African curriculum, right? And also, are you looking for partnership with government? If so, what would that look like? What would that kind of partnership look like?
Thank you so much for the question. Yes, our content, we are actually content creators and have created curriculum aligned content for almost all the grades so far. Our speciality is early childhood development though. So the key ingredient to this would be developing STEAM content for early childhood. And we will definitely be seeking government partnerships, but there are also some amazing existing partnerships we have with some of the key funders from civil society. And that particular sector is very organized in terms of how it works. And there is some innovation funds available just down the road from you guys. So we kind of know who we have in mind as our funders and who we have in mind as our key partners, including the likes of UNICEF and LEGO that I normally work with anyway. Our challenge is that we need strengthening in terms of our institutional arrangements between ourselves and those people, and that we need some guidance in terms of our institutional arrangements in using the tech side, because unlike everyone else in this, or most of the people here, we're not tech gurus, we're content gurus. But we'll be using some of the other people's tech, so we need to make sure how we slice that cake up and buy up, and to make sure that if we have these very complex partnerships that we're forming, that we have the right sort of legal and risk management advice, which is why we are also here. The Generation X's are also in the room with all the millennials, because that's what we're solving for. Thank you. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you very much, Carol.
Awesome. Thank you so much, judges, for those questions, and well done to the guys at Pitch. I know this is super nerve-wracking, but you guys were doing amazing so far. Up next, we have Book Village as sort of the first startup pitching for the second round. Cool. Lauren, and you guys can go.
Hi there, awesome. I'm just going to share my screen quick. Okay, can everyone see my screen?
Yes, you can go, and your time has started.
Okay, awesome. Hi, everyone. My name is Lauren, and I'm the director at a non-profit company called Book Village. So before we get started, I'd like to ask everyone a question. I'd want you to think about why it's important to know how to read. So as you can see here, reading is a fundamental skill that we use throughout our daily lives. Okay, meet Nozi Ziwe. She is a 10-year-old in grade 4 at Cosmo City Primary, and she loves listening to stories, but she can't read. She's one of the 78% of learners that cannot read for meaning by the end of grade 4. And her education has a distressing lack of human connection and digital connection. COVID has not helped this situation. And I want you to just look at the picture at the back here. We took this picture at the school, and these chairs have all gone into storage. So each chair represents a child that is not at school that day. Okay, so we are becoming digitally human. We are an online tutoring platform that digitally connects tutors, learners, and a reading series, as well as providing a digital library. Okay, so in our app, the students will complete reading assessments as well as reading lessons, and these will have the Aware Leveled Reading Series in by Oxford University Press. We also have a digital library where children can read for enjoyment. And I'm just going to show you a short video now.
Hello. How are you? I'm fine. Good.
Okay, so our target market, at the moment, we are only in one school, but in the next 10 years, we want to reach over 1 million learners throughout Africa with our reading program. We have gained a little bit of traction. Through initial funding, we have been able to partner with a few companies where we've received tablets and headsets, as well as developing an MVP of our app. And this we implement in a school along with our digital library. Okay, so we are an NPC. So we are, with starting off, our initial funding came from partnerships, funders, and donations. One of our biggest partnerships was with Salt Technologies, who has developed our MVP. And also we have our administrative costs and employee salaries are paid by Ballistic Armor Technologies. Okay, we also want to be sustainable, and so we want subscriptions to fee-paying schools, as well as data, selling our data to companies, providing advertising to our volunteers, as well as receiving donations. We have two types of competitors, and what we found is we searched the market, and there's some really, really great apps in the market. But what we found is there are two ideas here, our two competitors. We can't find an app that connects both. So where we are, what sets us apart is that we provide that human connection in a digital learning program. Also, we have relatable content for our African learners and access to a digital library. Then our team is a very strong team with a lot of experience behind us in education and business management. And we also have our Book Village volunteer community. And our ask is really, we want to grow and expand, and we want more partnerships and further funding to add features to our app, as well as expanding to new schools. So if we were to win, we'd buy 2 tablets. Okay.
Screen.
Well, I was just finished. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Lauren. Up next is well done. Up next is Tutupilo Center. If you guys could go and switch on, put on your slide.
Thank you, Mr. Tsepo. Can you hear me? Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. First of all, greetings to my honorable adjudicators and fellow entrepreneurs, as well as the Injini staff at large. I am Justice Ngobeni from Tutobili Center, an online lending platform. As Tutobili Center, we are in partnership with, we are proudly incubated by ECASI Lab. We in partnership with the Department of Education, Gauteng Province, and we are supported by Jode Institute. Yes, as Tutobili Center, we have our services. We have identified a problem that we're really solving. Set of facts rather than assumptions that our educational system in South Africa is ranked poor, and that is we are ranked 75 out of 76 countries. You could imagine that. And what we realized that is that students, learners often hit a brick wall in terms of their academics, and as well that the time that is allocated, let's say in their tutorial classrooms or sessions, is often limited or stretched too thin. So we as Tutobili Center has identified the problem. We now have a solution. Tutobili Center means education first. Tutobili Center is a powerful answer to a current crisis that our education system is facing. We offer educational support and learning accessible to learners, students, through the use of information and communication technology. We help teachers and learners to stay connected to each other in order to achieve the learning outcomes. And our target market, to say, we have from grade 8 to 12, as well as varsity students. Our services comprises of extra classes for our schools where we do coding and robotics. Fortunately, we are in 2 schools. We are at 2 schools, schools of specialization around Gauteng, Soshanguve, which is Soshtech, and as well as Tsepo School. We're doing computer literacy skills. We're also doing career advice and varsity application, motivation, and entrepreneur skills. So going forward is that we also have the other sub services that support training the trainer at school in case that a school need us to train their teachers in order to train their learners in terms of coding and robotics. What makes us unique is that we have exceptional experience and specializing online teachers and facilitators with the best engaging and fun learning methodologies. How to access our online learning system, you go to www.tutobilicenter.co.za, then you register. Then after payment, then you can log in and access your portal. Let's say in a dashboard of a learner, what will he she or he benefit? Will have extra classes, learning content that is developed by our specialized officers. We have assessment. We have we assess the learners in terms of now getting to know them, who are we working with here, and then we have to track change in terms of mock test and quizzes. Then we have exam preparation, question papers, study tips, and motivation and career advice. Our market size, we have around 80,000 plus in Gauteng in terms of number of learners, and then we have 350.
Wrap up your time.
Okay, thank you. In terms of traction, we are now having 2 schools and we're making money from them. They paying 14K per month for coding and robotics, and we have parents that are paying for their learners for extra classes across the provinces. And then now in terms of growth and parents are paying, and those are our main target market in terms of now, because they're the one having finances. If I were to get them the 50K, the 5K, I will invest that in marketing promotion, so that, because that serves as a driving tool, and I have my team here. I have the learning and teaching facilitator, I have data coach, and the learning ambassador. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Stop sharing your screen. Your time's up. Okay. Great. Thank you so much to Tupelo. And the next up is Student Education Trust. I think that is Freeman. If you could share your screen, Freeman, and start presenting. Your mic is off. Freeman. Okay, Freeman, we're gonna go to the next person and then you can pitch after them. Swift Learning Academy, if you can go now and then Freeman will go after.
Yes, Tsepo. Let me just quickly share my screen.
Sure.
Okay, I'm ready to go, Tsepo.
Oh, your time starts now.
Good day, everyone. My name is Lisia Ntsane, and I'm the founder of Swift Learning Academy. Approximately 80% of the country's learners who attend rural and township schools rank low in international tests for reading comprehension as well as science knowledge. What contributes to this problem is lack of access to affordable, equitable classroom solutions and digital inclusion for public high school learners in SA. Meet Tsepo, who is a 17-year-old in grade 11, looking forward to going to grade 12 next year. He is currently attending at Tlakula Secondary School at Ngwenyama and often uses his cell phone for learning purposes and researching careers. Tsepo is part of 3.9 million learners in South African public high schools, hoping to get good grades, apply to university, study, and change the lives of his family and community at large. Meet his mother, Maria. She's a 52-year-old with low income of an average of 2,000 per month. She wants Tsepo to do well at school as he prepares to go to grade 12, get good grades, career counseling, and assistance with university applications and student funding. Like many other parents, she has heard the South African president talking about fourth industrial revolution, STEM careers, coding and robotics, and wants to help her child, but doesn't know how. The solution we are proposing to address both challenges faced by Maria and Tsepo are Swift Learning app, which is an easy-to-use, affordable, and effective learning mobile app that assists with self-paced learning, career counseling, and skills development. The app has the following features that we hope will assist Tsepo: lesson notes, pre-recorded video lessons, graded mock assessments, psychometric testing, career section including university applications, information, and student funding opportunities. Courses included are mathematics, physical science, accounting, business studies, English, which is for first language and second language. Vocational courses are also offered for skills development purposes, which are coding, financial literacy, leadership skills, social entrepreneurship, and mental health and wellness. How the solution works: Tsepo would only need to download the Swift Learning app, choose the courses, set his learning goals on the dashboard, and enjoy learning for 30 days for free. Upon the free trial expiring, he would just need to go to a spaza shop nearby and buy a blue voucher for 59 rand, enter the voucher number on the app, and continue learning. Our target market is as follows. We have 6,000 plus public high schools in South Africa, and 3.9 million high school learners in the public schooling system in South Africa. The market we are aiming to tap into is 2,000 learners based on the 5 schools that we have done validated learning with in KwaThema. The traction so far, we have had a user reach of 5 high schools in KwaThema and 2 high schools in Welkom, where we did our market research and did our validated learning exercises. We have participated in the SAIS Boost Up Challenge, where we've been selected as the top 10 participants standing a chance to win a trip to Slash 2021, which is an entrepreneurship event happening in Helsinki, Finland in November, December 2021. We've also been...
Time's up, just wrap up, please, here.
Okay. Okay. Our business model is based on the freemium model, whereby we generate revenue from monthly subscriptions of 59 Rand per user. And our distribution channel is through public high schools, and our customers are parents and learners, which are the users. Our team comprises of myself, Ms. Tilisi Ansani, currently doing a postgraduate diploma in business management, and Ms. Karabo Sibanyoni, who holds a BSc Mechanical Engineering honors degree from Wits University. We both boast over 8 years experience in tutoring.
Cool. Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Lucia. The time's up. Up next is, just want to check if Freeman is fine with his internet now. Lucia, please stop sharing your screen.
Yes, just a moment. Stop share.
Freeman, are you ready? Bushle, is Freeman still on the call? No. Okay. That's okay. We can go then into the last pitch for the day, and that is Vango Academy. Chido, go and just share a slide.
Yeah, share my screen. Okay, can you see it?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, great. I'll start now. When I moved from Zimbabwe to South Africa at age 7, I couldn't speak English. And then after a couple of years, I couldn't speak my mother tongue, Chishona. After realizing that thousands of children go through similar issues, Mambo Academy was born. Mambo Academy addresses the market challenges of the growing interest in African languages, but the cost of tutors and the difficulty in finding quality content. So we have created a web-based solution, but you can watch the demo to see how it works. At Mambo Academy, our serviceable obtainable market is 160,000, which is 2% of the total available market. This total available market consists of children from the age of 7, young adults, tourists, and immigrants. Our revenue model is both a subscription-based and a pay-per-lesson-based. So someone can pay 180 Rand per lesson to have a virtual lesson with an experienced teacher, or they can pay 150 Rand per month to have access to all the languages that are preloaded on the self-learning tool. We currently have 10 indigenous South African languages and 2 indigenous Zimbabwean languages on the platform. Our direct competitors are self-led language learning platforms such as Duolingo and Ambani Africa. And our potential allies are actually our indirect competitors, and these are traditional language learning tutors and schools. Our competitive advantage is that we offer additional learning resources such as a dictionary, blog post, and a WhatsApp translation tool. We also offer the best value for money on the market, as the average price for a monthly package is $99, whereas ours is $10. And we're based in Africa, which helps to make our content more authentic. Our go-to-market strategy includes the launch of our MVP, which was done on the 1st of August this year. Then we're looking to target adults through social media marketing, children through audio-visual content, and schools through partnerships. We have had 94 lessons since we launched at the beginning of August, and we're looking to have 300 lessons at the end of 2021. In terms of features, we're looking to start a machine learning project at the beginning of 2022 and to add 6 new languages. Our team consists of myself, the business development manager, Dorcas and Michelle, who are in charge of teacher training and development, as well as education and literature, and Nathan, who's one of the 3 developers that make sure that Rambo Academy is always innovative and up to date. Our asks are both financial and non-financial. We're asking for $20,000 to add 6 new languages, to improve our machine learning technology, to improve our marketing, and to publish storybooks in indigenous languages. And in terms of relationships, we're looking to build relationships with mentors, build networks, and have access to markets and exposure. So thank you so much for listening to our presentation. We hope that you join us in building the home of African language learning and heritage.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Chira. That was perfect timing with like 4 seconds left. Cool. We've got Freeman. I will try share his on my side. Please feel free to just switch off your video so that we could have better audio. And I'll share his deck on my computer. Okay, you can go.
Hello, everyone. I'm Baba Esrime, from founder of the Student Education Trust. Access to quality education is a human right, and we all have to work to make sure that it's achieved. Next slide. In our country, Liberia, we have a problem. About 1.4 million children are affected by the poor quality of education due to shortage of manpower and overcrowdedness. And we have a problem of external shock. 98% of our schools shut down during lockdown, especially like during the Ebola and the COVID-19. Over 500,000 children, rural children, and poor children are not in school and do not have access to quality education. These are the problems that we face in our educational sector. Next slide, please. Our solution is to provide an integrated multifunctional digital platform that will enable students access their lessons, enable out-of-school children access the same quality education as students in school, enables teachers to present their lessons virtually and facilitate online examinations. Next slide, please. Our product is a mobile app that will be used to facilitate the online learning and the virtual classes, and a custom Marvel stocking book that will be blended to enable school operate and transition during lockdown. Next slide. Our market size, we have over 500,000 plus children who are out of school, 1.4 million students who are in school, and 3,500 schools, primary to grade 12. Next slide. Our business model is business to business. We form partnership with schools and communities, and the partners distribute our products to the parents or the customer. And in a collaborative and inclusive revision process, we create our content to enable students have access to quality education. Next slide, please. Our revenue stream is the sale of the Marvel stocking book. For pre-primary students, we sell the Marvel stocking book set for $20, primary students $30, and junior and senior high students $30 per student for academic year. And the mobile app used for the virtual learning program is downloaded free. And we build multifunctional website for the teachers. Our next slide. Our treasure is, we started with 18 schools, testing our product in 18 schools in 2020-2021 school year. And we hope that by 2024, 2022, 2023, 2024 school year, we'll have 500 schools and with over 600,000 students, which will be able to raise up to $700,000. Next slide, please. Our competitors. This competitor is not in Liberia, but we see them as our competitors because they also provide a school management app that is user-friendly, desktop-based offline application, daily auto payback, and more. But what sets us apart from them is that we have user-friendly interface offline, artificial intelligent market talking book that need no internet to connect, and a multi-functional app that enables better presentation. Next slide. We are asking for 5,000 Rand for the completion of our app and the revision of our lessons to begin our full pilot phase with 40 schools.
Please wrap up, Freeman. Time is up.
Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Our team comprises myself, your humble presenter, Mobile Experiment, a BSc Education Administration, James K. Yankwa, a Program Officer, BA Accounting and Management, and Gerald Bayer Senior, a Technical Officer who is a software engineer that is helping us develop the software in our program. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Freeman. And that's all the pitches for the second round. Well done to every single one of you. I know it's so difficult pitching online to people that you can't even see, but you guys did really amazing. Yeah, so I'll leave it to the judges to just ask questions. We'll just do it in the same order we did the last set of pitches.
Okay, thank you so much. You know, this thing of having to double check your questions. Let me just go through my list. Okay, Lauren is from Book Village, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, I have questions for Lauren. Lauren, I have two questions for you. Let me just start with the first one. You mentioned that one of your ways of revenue is that you're going to sell data, right? And I need understanding in terms of your value prop for selling data besides monetary value. What other value is there in selling the data that you have? And what exact data will you be selling? Will you be selling in terms of, you know, what kind of books learners read? Help me understand the data and the value in that. That's number one. And number two, what stops other companies, right, from entering your field? If your method becomes a hit, let's say, you know, the online library becomes a hit, what stops other people from copying your business model? Thanks, Lauren.
Ironically, it's the same sort of questions for Lauren, so I'm going to just leave that there. I think the questions I wanted to just ask, I think, was for Vambo Academy. I just want to understand, is it purely just a one-on-one engagement that they would have with regards to their services, or is it going to be options for one-to-many? I'm just trying to understand the ability for them to scale their business based on those parameters. I think that was sort of like it for now. So then, yeah, I think the two from with regards to Book Village as well.
Yeah, my questions are quite similar to both Thembisa and Alan. Maybe adding to Thembisa's one is like, you know, children are considered protected persons under the new Papaya Act. So maybe speak a little bit more about sort of the regulatory burden you expect to sort of jump over in the horizon. And yeah, basically that's that. And then for Tato Pele, how do you prevent sort of content leakage off your platform? So let's say I sign up for your platform, I download all these resources, and then I share it with all my friends. You've lost all that value. So maybe speak a little bit more about that. And then For Vambo Academy, similar question. Yeah, so if it's like a one-to-many, how do you manage sort of participant liquidity on the platform, making sure that, you know, for every time someone requests a lesson, there's someone on the other side sort of ready to give that? Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much, judges. Lauren, you can go first.
Okay, hi, thanks so much for all the questions. Yeah, so basically in terms of selling our data, at the moment, there is no accurate data for reading for a lot of students. So basically everything that we get onto the app, all of our assessments and our ongoing assessments, we'll collect all that data, and it'll be invaluable to a lot of companies, especially like Oxford University Press, who we are using their reading books, because they can see if it's something enjoyable for the kids. They can see the standard level at which learners are reading in South Africa, especially in low income schools. So that's the kind of data we will be collecting, and it will be a lot more accurate. And then we will sell this in terms of people copying. So technically the digital library we have, it is powered by Sora. So it's already something on the market, and we have created our own reading app that we do reading lessons and tutoring system. And then the digital library is just separate to that for learners to carry on their reading for enjoyment. But in terms of people copying, to be honest, the end goal is really to provide children with a great education and equal education. And so if more companies want to do something similar, that may be an easier way to do it as well. Like, we want to bring people on and get people invested and involved in children's education. So that's that. And then
sorry, Lauren, before you go to the next question, you know, an answer like that is very admirable, right? But at the end of the day, you are still a business. Yeah. So I need to understand your value prop, right? Let's say these other companies see that you're doing something incredible. How do you ensure that you stand aside from the fray? You know, it's nice that everybody would jump on board and ensure more and more kids, you know, get access to this. Very admirable. But again, you are still a business. So help me understand, how will you stay afloat? Because obviously your goal isn't to close doors, right? You want to be around for as long as possible. You want to, I mean, you obviously have ambitions to create employment, right? Yeah. Through the work that you do. So I think maybe let me rephrase my question to say, what is your outstanding value prop? What is it about you that you believe no one else can copy?
Well, I think what sets us so far apart is we have this understanding. We've me and my team, we've had a lot of experience. We understand what the kids need. We understand the level of education, and from experiencing actually going into the schools and seeing where the learners are at, I feel like until you've actually gone to the schools and seen that the standard is so far below what we actually hear about in the news and on the radio and from everyone, I think from there we have a better understanding of how to proceed, what standard children need, and how we can start teaching them in a way that they will understand better. And we are constantly collecting data going into those schools and finding out how the best way to teach these learners is. And I think also we have the whole tutoring system. We understand how important it is that you need that human connection in learning. Children need to know that people are interested and they want a better education for these kids. And yeah, I think that's basically what sets us apart. And and that we have a lot of great partnerships with people already. And we hope to expand those quite a bit. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you, Lauren. I think the next person that had a question, you can just go and answer. I think it was Vambo. So Chido, you can go.
Yes, thank you, Tsepo. So one of the questions was if we only offer one-on-one learning, and no, we don't. So students can have group sessions as well, but we also have a self-learning tool. So we have preloaded content that any student anywhere around the world can access and go through by themselves. Then I think this follows into the next question on participant liquidity. So yeah, we're constantly assessing that at the moment to see which languages are the most popular, which languages need teachers on standby, and such. But again, if we find that there's a huge demand on language and there are teachers that aren't available, we're directing them to our self-learning portal so that they can start on the content, then they can have their personalized journey with the teacher once the teacher is available again.
Maybe can you also just speak a little about sort of your competitive advantage? And I think one of that is like, you know, you've got these localized languages, but what happens if a company like Duolingo creates like local sort of, a local workforce sort of providing these languages as well? How do you see your company playing out that way?
Yeah, so we're actually looking forward to that. Duolingo recently announced that they're introducing Zulu and Xhosa, and for us, it's a huge advantage because it's improving the tools on the platform, like in the ecosystem. But for us, we have tailored our curriculum in such a way that it enables someone to be able to actually confidently speak after a certain number of lessons. And this is because of the research that we've done, especially on African languages. So right now, you know, we kind of have a bit of an advantage with the Nguni and the Bantu languages. And, you know, as we kind of adding more languages up going into the continent, we're looking to use that same methodology so that we can make sure that, you know, our students can actually speak the language and not just know a couple of words to get them by.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Thank you so much, Peter. And I think that there was a question also for Tutupelo.
Okay. Yes, the question was how to prevent content leakage. We utilize encryption, endpoint security, and we also ensure that our users they can't download the content. They can, let's say for videos purposes, they can only watch them on our platform. So yeah, that's how we protect our content. Thank you.
Sorry, can I just jump in there with a follow-up question? Right? Yeah. You say that you protect your content by only sharing it in a specific space, right? But you don't have control of people who download that content and then share it. So how would you deal with the scenario like that?
Okay, in that case, we will now have to trace to say now who downloaded our content without our permission or without our consent to say, then there will be legal or remedies for such conduct.
Tuto, do you have a disclaimer on the videos? Do you have a copyright at the end that says that this is a copyright? Or there are no disclaimers that are on your videos or your content?
Yes, we have.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, judges. And thank you to each and every one of you that presented. So I just want to give the judges just a moment to sort of go through their scorecards and then sort of compile all of that. But I want to say that well done to each and every one of you, not only for sort of today's pitch, but also just for your commitment and the effort that you've put in the last 2 weeks throughout the entire boot camp. It's not a small feat, so congratulations and well done to you guys. I also just want to do something different while the judges sort of conclude their scores and then make sure that we finalize all of that before announcing the winners. Is if anyone has a really good question for one of the startups in the audience and you really have like a pressing question that you'd like to ask, please just raise your hand. If you can raise your hand, there's reactions at the bottom. So if you can just click a raise your hand, you can do that. You can ask any of the entrepreneurs that presented today, or if you have comment or feedback that you'd like to share to any of them, I'd like to give you just like a minute to do that. So if there's anyone that feels like they have something to share or thoughts that they'd like to share to any of the entrepreneurs that presented, you could do that while the judges sort of finalize their scorecards, and then our team are going to sort of tally up everything and then announce the winner. Okay, I saw a hand. OPME. Hi, OPME. You can unmute yourself. Also, just want to say OPME was part of our bootcamp, the last bootcamp we had. So it's really nice to see you on this one. You can go ahead.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Tsepo, for that, and well done to all the startups. So my question is I'm sorry, I can't remember the name, but it's the language academy. That's Vambo, right? Yes. So I was curious to know if English language is also part of the languages you would be, having on your platform, because of course there are some kids in some very rural communities that they only, really understand their local languages, and communicating in English is kind of hard. And so for that kind of kid or the kind of parents, if they get a hold of your app or your platform, I am curious to know if they would be able to access the the information they need based on their own language, or it's only pure English. Like, how does that work? Thank you.
Thank you for your question. Yes, English is included. So at the moment, we have managed to create an English course from Shona and Zulu, but we're looking to do it for all the languages because they do differ in terms of translation and teaching. So yes, that's available.
Thank you, Chida, for answering that. And I think I saw another hand from, it's gone. I think it was Lloyd. Smile Education. Yeah, you can go and ask your question, Lloyd. Just unmute yourself. There's no sound if he's speaking. We can't hear. Okay. I guess we might be having technical issues there. Cool. So before, I see that judges have wrapped up their scores. So before we sort of make the final announcements, I'd also just have one final ask from the judges. If you guys could share sort of one key advice to all of them, sort of maybe like a consistent theme that you've seen as you've pitched. If you could just share one piece of advice that you'd like to leave everyone with today. So yeah, Alan, we can start with you.
Oh, I think the key aspect, I think, would have to be primarily around just making sure that you stick to the time, maybe do a little bit more practicing. I know that obviously Injini do quite a lot of like drills with the guys around these type of things. It's always key to do that because like a lot of the time we'll tend to lose information about what the presenter is trying to convey because we're too busy trying to just keep up with where they are at this point in time. So if they try to get to the end, it gives us more time to think back about what they presented if they complete it in time. But as you're trying to finish up, you're rambling and moving too quickly. So it ends up becoming a little bit more confusing for us at the end of the day. So just try and make sure you stick to the times as best as possible.
Thank you, Alan. Ngwenyama?
Yeah, absolutely. I share Alan's sentiments, and also where I sit, I sort of sit on the funding side. So there are a few things that are extremely important to me. And one of those is a little bit more about you and your team. You know, we often back good founders before good ideas, just because, you know, that requires good people executing those good ideas. And then also just spend a little bit more time on, I know time is limited, but yeah, just a little bit more time on the business model and the problem, because those two aspects sort of speak to each other and they validate sort of why you're doing what you're doing.
Thank you so much, Lungelo. And Tembiso.
Yeah, so first and foremost, congratulations to everyone. That was amazing. I've been where you are before, so it's kind of nice to be on the other end, you know. But I think from me, what I would say is really spend some time kind of understanding the ecosystem of all your stakeholders, right? We tend, specifically as social entrepreneurs, we tend to focus only on our beneficiaries, right? But you need to understand that the space that we're working in involves so many different people. So our solution needs to be able to cater to them as well. Particularly in the EdTech space, you know, you don't only think of the learners, you have to think of the teachers, you have to think of the parents, you have to think of all these people that add to this journey. So that's it from me. And thank you so much, Injini, for having me as a judge today.
Thank you so much for joining. And again, thank you so much to each of you for making the time to join us today. You guys are an absolute joy. We love having you guys in our community, and well done to each and every person that participated in this bootcamp. You did amazing. And whether or not you walked away with the prize today, I just want to say that, like, make sure that you take everything that's happened today and in the past 2 weeks to really build a better solution, because what you have is really gold, and you guys have so much potential in improving the education system, the quality, access of education across the continent. So well done to each and every one of you. And without any further ado, I'll just go and sort of read out the winners for today's bootcamp. And it was very close at some point. But in third place, we've got Pass My Grade. So well done to the team. Titus, congratulations. You guys got third place. And then in second place, we've got Vembo Academy, Shido and the team, well done on that. And then first, who have led strongly is Book Village. So I'd just like to say well done to the team at Book Village. So if you all could just, like, if you can, switch on your video so you could just like clap and just sort of congratulate everyone.
Thank you so much. Oh, that is so exciting. Thank you. Oh, we're very excited. Thank you.
Well done and congratulations to you guys. And again, to the judges, thank you so much for your time. And I think one request for me is, if you can switch your video on, can you all switch our videos on? And I just want to take a screenshot of everyone. We had about 45 to almost people there. So thank you so much, and well done once again. We've got more bootcamps and more events coming up before the year ends. So please stay connected, follow us on LinkedIn and Twitter, social media, and also sign up to our newsletter. Cool. So if the team can help me take screenshots, I can as well. But if other people can, it's just that I don't miss anyone. Thank you. Awesome. Ooh, thank you, guys. That's it from us. Again, well done to everyone that joined and to everyone that participated.